Away from that regular programming, we're just getting you the big number from easily the most anticipated pollster in the country, the most anticipated poll in the country. The Axis My India projections are out. Out of the 60 seats for which they've released the data so far, the BJP is on course to win 41. It's a massive edge to the BJP. After 27 years, the BJP seems all set to come back to power as per the Axis My India poll. And the reason why we're putting this out is because it is one of India's most closely watched pollsters who has taken a good 24 hours after the numbers came out. He's now giving a big lead to the BJP. 10 more seats to be declared. 41 out of 60 is what Axis My India is giving to the BJP. Remember, the BJP has been out of power in the national capital since 1998. So it's a 27-year jinx that they are breaking. 41 out of 60 seats have been declared so far. The vote percentage, 48% for the BJP, 42% for the Aam Aadmi Party. So the Aam Aadmi Party has had an 11 percentage fall in its vote share from last time around. The BJP has had a 3% increase. So significant difference that 42 and 48, a 6% gap in what seems to be essentially a two-horse race. So now BJP has crossed 50 and AAP is at 20. He's now given the leads for 69 seats, out of which BJP is getting 50 and the AAP is getting 20. That is the number that we have as far as the Axis My India projection is concerned. 50 to the BJP, 20 to the Aam Aadmi Party, 0 to the Congress. Can we have that as the big breaking? Because in the exit polls that we saw yesterday, I think one poll had given the BJP more than 50. I think it was 51 for one poll. But now Axis My India giving 50 out of 70 to the BJP and 20 to the Aam Aadmi Party. If we can get our reporters Aman Sharma and Pallavi Ghosh also on this, because this would be quite a seismic win for the BJP. It's not just a win, it's almost like a tsunami. It's almost a reversal of what we saw the last time around. The AAP had 62 and the BJP had just 8. But now Axis My India projections are 50 to the BJP and 20 to the Aam Aadmi Party. Let's go straight across to Pallavi Ghosh. Pallavi, if this is true, and this is at the end of the day an exit poll, it is not what the people have decided, that we will know on the 8th of February in a couple of days' time. But if this is true, and this is coming from one of India's most closely watched pollsters, Mr. Pradeep Gupta of Axis My India, if his projection is 50 to the BJP and 20 to the Aam Aadmi Party, what may that mean?
It means, of course, a completely clean sweep for the BJP of the 70 seats, Jaka. But if we just go by the past, whenever there has been this whole talk about whether the BJP is going to come back to power, whether it's been Haryana, whether it's been Maharashtra, the BJP has ended up actually sweeping. A very decisive mandate they've always ended up getting. So this time round, it reflects and suggests a strong anti-incumbency against the Aam Aadmi Party, and that the BJP's aggressive campaign seems to have worked on the ground. If you go by these figures, and these figures stick, Zaka, it's very clear that at the end of the day, the corruption charges, the non-fulfillment of the promises, something that the BJP kept on whipping up, seems to have worked for the BJP and against AAP. But more than that, I think fringe players like the Congress or possibly AIMIM seem to have been dividing the votes as well. Look at Chandni Chowk figures, look at the other area figures, which clearly seem to be suggesting that even in those areas which are not traditionally BJP strongholds, the performance seems to have improved.
All right, Aman Sharma, our political editor, is also joining us. Aman, again, I want to underline this is an exit poll, and exit pollsters, including this one, have gone wrong in the past. But having said that, the fact that he's saying BJP will get 50 and Aam Aadmi Party 20, that is a massive win for the BJP if the Axis numbers hold on Saturday.
Well, absolutely, Zaka. This is a huge projection. Seat numbers, yes, 50, 20, but look at the vote share change. BJP climbing from almost 38% to 48% vote share. That's what Axis is projecting. And AAP is falling from almost 52% to 42%. So a complete 10% vote swing is what Axis is projecting in the favor of the BJP. And that is explaining this huge turnaround from the last 2020 election, the projection at least, that the BJP BJP could win as many as 50 seats in Delhi. This is going to be a big, win if it happens like that. And Access, has the win in its sail because it got Maharashtra bang on as well. So this is the big projection. Today's Chanakya is still awaited in a few minutes, but Access giving this big numbers. And, word in BJP has been, Zaka, over the last 2 weeks at least, that towards the second half of the campaign, the BJP really picked up pace. BJP feels that this is an election where everything has been going for it, right? From the corruption, corruption allegations against, which was not there in 2020. BJP this time had full ammunition against the AAP on the issue of corruption, Sheesh Mahal, liquor scam, senior leaders of AAP going to jail. Then you had the reversal of the BJP stand on freebies in Delhi, from calling them reveries in 2020 to now saying we'll continue all the freebies. This projection also shows that it's a pan-Delhi sweep. East Delhi, West Delhi, Chandni Chowk, even in Northeast Delhi, you are seeing BJP winning a big number of seats. That shows that the narrative of the BJP on the ground of poor civic infrastructure in Delhi maybe has been accepted by the voters. We all have been reporting in the past few days that the middle class would have consolidated behind the BJP. But I believe if these figures hold true on Saturday, not just the middle class, there's a big divide maybe even in the Jhuggi votes also. And the Jhuggi cluster voters also seem to have reposed in a big measure faith in the BJP.
So do we know the breakup as well? I think he's given it by, caste-wise, community-wise, the occupation of people. And one thing that really stood out for me was that the BJP is getting more women vote than the Aam Aadmi Party. The women were considered to be a sort of stranglehold vote bank for the Aam Aadmi Party. But now it seems like at least 2% more women have voted for the BJP. Again, would you attribute this to the 2,500 for women that the BJP had promised?
Yes, Zaka. See, I think the AAP took an early lead with this 2,100 promise coming before the BJP's. And AAP also started registrations on the ground. But I think the BJP's record of delivering women's schemes, one, the BJP promises 400 rupees more than the AAP's promise. Second, BJP said, look, people also understand that BJP has been able to give money to women both in Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, other states where it promised that money. While the AAP failed to give it in Punjab. Punjab, the government has been in place for almost 3 years now. They promised 1,100 rupees to women. They could not give it to single woman so far. So I think the AAP was able, BJP was able to tell this to the women voters. Look, we are promising something. We'll be able to give it to you. The Aam Aadmi Party will not be able to give you that money. Even when the AAP announced that money, the cabinet passed 1,000 and Mr. Kejriwal said they'll give 2,100. So there has been a bit of confusion, I think, in the AAP camp over the women's scheme. If these projections hold true and women do indeed vote more for the BJP, it is also a big vote bank, a loyal vote bank of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, which we are very consciously nurtured over the years with free power, free water, free bus rides for women. It seems even the women seem to be reposing their faith in the BJP if these projections hold true on Saturday.
All right, Pallavi Ghosh is also joining us back. So Pradeep Gupta has now given a range for the Axis My India number. What we showed you earlier was the average, the midpoint of that range. So the range he's now giving is 45 at the lower end and 55 at the higher end for the BJP. So the BJP could go as high up as 55. For the Aam Aadmi Party, the lower end is 15 and the upper end is 25. And for the Congress, it's 0 to 1 and others, it's 0 to 1. Pallavi Ghosh, a lot of talk about, what the Congress will do. Will it eat into Aam Aadmi Party votes? Will it open its account? Will its vote share double? None of that seems to have come to pass. It seems like a straight fight, this, between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. And in that straight fight, the BJP seems to have had the upper hand.
Zaka, that's precisely the point which Aam Aadmi Party would make, that it is a bipolar fight in Delhi. What does it need for the Congress Party to get aggressive on the ground? Because it's only going to end up helping the BJP and going to work against AAP. And I think the TMC and the SP's decision to campaign for AAP was actually engineered by this kind of a calculation and thought. Now, for the Congress Party, if it gets even one seat, I would see this as bettering its performance, considering that they have 0 MPs and 0 MLAs. But what would be critical also to see is that even if they get 0 seats, whether their vote percentage has increased. Today, the Congress Party is even less than 5% vote percentage. If it crosses that or it goes in double digit, which I think would be sounding very ambitious, for the Congress Party, it would mean a little bit of a revival in the national capital. But all along, it was felt that if the Congress gets aggressive on the ground, it's only going to end up helping the BJP as it divides the anti-BJP votes.
Okay, so it divides the anti-BJP votes. I'm not sure we know exactly, in how many constituencies or what role, if at all, as they say in this part of the world, the Congress has become a vote katwa. But at least in terms of vote share, the Congress doesn't seem to have improved much. It had about 4.5% last time around. At least Axis My India's number seems to be 7%, so about a 2 or 3% gap. But if you were to genuinely cut the votes in a way that the Aam Aadmi Party's vote share has fallen from 53% to 42%, that's an 11% fall. So clearly, there's a lot more of the AAP vote that's been cut by the BJP as opposed to by the Congress. So are we now looking at, if Aman is still there with us, Aman, this gap that he has given between 45 and 55 for the BJP, so the BJP could go as far high up as 55, and the Aam Aadmi Party as low as 15 to 25 is the range he's given. How may that change the sort of dynamics and the politics of the national capital, which for the last 25 years, as the Prime Minister said in one of his campaigns, for 15 years it was Congress, and for the last 11 it's been Aam Aadmi Party. So it's like almost like a comeback from one vas for the BJP if these numbers hold.
Absolutely, Zaka. If the BJP is winning like this in Delhi with 50 plus seats, this will be a big reaffirmation of brand Modi. After the win in Haryana and after the win in Maharashtra, BJP will be winning Delhi, which many thought was impossible for BJP to win because there's been a 27-year-long drought. The BJP has not been able to give a leader in Delhi, no CM face. This was always the BJP just lost the MCD elections, just very recently. So this is something that BJP was up against. But as I was saying earlier, that this will be a big reaffirmation of brand Modi. This will be a body blow to the Aam Aadmi Party because, AAP may be in power in Punjab, but Delhi is the real fortress. This is where brand Kejriwal has been the strongest. He came to power here on the image of anti-corruption and leading a corruption-free government, promising people that he will give these turn Delhi into a free electricity, free water regime, bring all these benefits to people. This means that the freebie model of AAP is also suffering a big jolt. People are saying, and we saw this during the campaign, when we were traveling across Delhi, people were saying that freebies we've had enough. Improve the state of Delhi, improve the roads, improve the drinking water supply quality, improve the buses. That is what people, improve the air pollution. Just look at the state of the Yamuna. This is the national capital, and the Prime Minister has been saying this in the campaign, that the national capital is unrecognizable from the rest of the country because the state of the infrastructure is so poor. So give BJP a chance, a double engine. Many people were of this opinion that okay, let's give BJP a chance. Let's see what they can do to Delhi. So if the AAP projections hold true, I think that anger of the people, that frustration of the people, that AAP always keeps fighting with the center, blaming the center, maybe that narrative of the BJP has taken ground amongst the people.
Also, one other thing, if we go into the breakup and if Pallavi is still there with us, so in some of the JJ clusters, the slum clusters, we're seeing a split in the AAP's vote, certainly not as much as what they got last time around. We're also seeing a split in some of the Muslim-dominant constituencies, whether it's in the northeastern part of Delhi or whether it is in the outskirts of Delhi, what's called the beyond the ring road parts of Delhi. We are seeing split in certain dedicated pockets or dedicated vote banks of the Aam Aadmi Party, whether it is, like I said, the slum cluster voters or whether it is the Muslim voters. Is that just that they are upset with the lack of governance or upset that it's been 10 plus years of anti-incumbency against Kejriwal? And has the BJP been the beneficiary of that because that vote has been taken away by the Congress? Or is it that it was a straight fight, Pallavi, between AAP and BJP? And this whole, certainly for the last 5-7 years, this whole bickering that was going on between the state government and the central government, virtually every other week there was a court case between the state and the center. People were just sick and tired and said, okay, let's just give it to one party and see if the lot of Delhi will get better.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because that's the feedback I would often get when I'm on the ground. See, this whole sense of helplessness and blaming the central government that, I wanted to do this, but I couldn't do it because the BJP stopped me. It works to a certain extent, but at the end of the day, I think every citizen and every voter wants a kind of a Rambo CM or a Rambo leader. They want someone who sounds in control. I mean, that is what has worked. If I can take the example of my home state of Bengal, the projection of Mamata Banerjee as someone who can deliver and fight. the system. So the Arvind Kejriwal is always crying foul and playing the victim card. I think at some point of time when I started speaking to people, they said, what's the point? If he's so helpless, if he's not going to be able to deliver, so let's give it to someone who can deliver. And in this case, the BJP's double engine ki sarkar arguments seem to have worked. The second, you're asking me of the minority stronghold areas, two things which may have worked against AAP. One is the entry of the AIMIM and very, very aggressive campaign, and also the Congress's strategic choice of candidates. For example, Arif Mohammad Khan's niece, Ariba Khan, against Amanatullah Khan. There were instances where we saw that on one side of the road there were party workers of the Congress, on the other side of the AIMIM, and very often the AAP party workers were actually missing in action. This division of the minority vote seemed to have worked against the AAP. And finally, Zaka, like everyone of us, I mean, this is wrong notion to think that the minority voters will only want to go along religious lines. In Uttar Pradesh, in many pockets, we saw that there were people belonging to minority communities, particularly the women. They actually ended up voting for the BJP because they also as much want development as just about everybody wants. So the BJP promise of money into the accounts and development.
Okay, Pallavi, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we have the man of the moment, Chairman and Managing Director of Axis My India, Pradeep Gupta ji. Bahut dhanyawad. Thank you for speaking with us. First things first, big number, 45 to 55 for the BJP. What did you see on the ground? How has this election changed so much in favor of BJP?
So first and foremost, the change in positioning of Aam Aadmi Party and that to Arvind Kejriwal, what they have been projecting 5 to 10 years back and what they have been seen today. That's the first thing. Second thing is that the people have favored particularly women. In our poll, women for Aam Aadmi Party 44 versus BJP's 46%, only 2 percentage points gap between two parties. But among the male, the gap widened to the 10 percentage point, 40 to 50 for the BJP. Second, the kind of promises made by BJP this time, particularly two very important things, apart from the facilities in case of water bill, electricity bill, free bus ride for the women, and health and education facilities. They said that it will continue if BJP come to the power. Also, they promised 2,500 rupees for the women, and that too they declare the date also. It will be done before or on or before March 8, which is the Women's Day. Also, on the other side, Kejriwal also has promised and get the form filled and issued the card for 2,100 rupees per month for the women. But when people used to ask what happened to your promise when you did so before the Punjab election in 2022, they've been giving very casual answer. They call it very asamvedansheel, saying that we have been elected for 5 years. Abhi to 3 saal hue, aaram se kar denge, itni jaldi kya hai? On the other end, on the contrary, people saw that particularly PM Modi is saying and committing the date also. So people have believed largely in favor of BJP than the Aam Aadmi Party. These are the 3-4 basic points. Coming to the anti-incumbency, which was the mix. There were negative in terms of garbage collection, condition of the road, and kind of quality of drinking water. These are the 3 things which touch across the board, across the demography from top to bottom, which impacted and harmed the prospect of Aam Aadmi Party and that to Kejriwal.
Pradeep ji, for a long time it was said that this is going to be a triangular fight. Congress will take away Aam Aadmi Party votes or whatever. Did you see that, or was this a straight 2-horse race between AAP versus BJP?
So basically, it is a straightforward race in that sense. The Congress is likely to secure 7 percentage votes, but in some pockets, particularly that 0-1 for the Congress is coming from the Badli seat, where they are in fight. Congress has dented some prospect in 4 to 5 seats for Aam Aadmi, namely in case of Jangpura, namely in case of Okhla, namely in case of Badli, as I mentioned, and 3 to 4 more seats, where Congress is doing good, but not enough to win the seats.
Also, very quickly, I know seat-wise you may not want to reveal, but people are interested in knowing Mr. Kejriwal's seat, Atishi's seat, and Mr. Sisodia's seat.
So one by one, I try to say that, and also with a big disclaimer that we never ever do seat by seat, because people take it personally. You know, it ultimately it is 0.2%, based on 0.2% sample size, 200 to 300 sample size. We are saying whatever we are saying. Sometimes it hold good, sometimes it may not be. So what we reveal is the most popular party in that particular assembly constituency on the exit poll day, which is today for us. As far as New Delhi goes, BJP was the most popular party on today.
Okay.
As far as Atishi's Kalkaji seat goes, where both the parties popular, but Aam Aadmi Party is having little edge over BJP.
Okay.
As far as the Jangpura goes, where BJP has the little edge over the Aam Aadmi Party, and as far as Greater Kailash goes, Aam Aadmi Party has a little edge, not fully secured in case of Greater Kailash, where the Saurabh Bhardwaj is contesting. Babarpur seat is fine and secured for Aam Aadmi Party, where Gopal Rai is contesting.
Wow, you haven't said it in as many words, but if you're saying that in New Delhi, BJP is more popular, and in Jangpura, again, it's neck and neck, BJP slightly ahead. And if that happens on Saturday, that itself will be a huge headline. Pradeep Gupta, many, many thanks for joining us here on CNN News 18 with your Axis Mind, your projections. The projections for Delhi, like I said, from the most anticipated pollster in the country, 45 to 55 for the BJP, 15 to 25 for the Aam Aadmi Party, 0 to 1 for the Congress, and 0 to 1 for the others.